First off, huge thank you to Techno Day for hosting this Women in Tech conference and having me. Welcome from Toronto, Canada. I am very grateful to be here and thank you for your interest in this talk and learning about cloud skills and how you can transform your career and businesses with these in-demand skills. Throughout this talk, I'll touch on why cloud skills are important and become increasingly more important, what steps you can take to build cloud skills, and some of the opportunities that this will help create for you and your organizations. But before I dive in, let me briefly introduce myself. I am Nandhini and I work at Google Cloud Learning. Google Cloud Learning has this lofty mission to bring Google Cloud skills to the world. When I was prepping for this talk, I was kind of reflecting on my journey to learning. And my career has honestly spanned like multiple jobs and industries. I started off as a software engineer, actually, working on Java and mainframe stuff. And I say stuff intentionally because I really don't remember what I was doing, but I do remember a lot of black and green. I pivoted to the business side of the house. I got an MBA and I worked in management consulting and strategy and operations before landing on really where I truly see myself spending the rest of my career, the world of learning and skill development. Learning has always been a constant theme in my life. It supported me at various career pivots. It supported me with career growth. It supported me when I became a mom of these two brats that you see in this picture, which I have to say has been the steepest and toughest learning curve of them all. And as cliche as it sounds, I truly am a lifelong learner. And anytime I'm presented with a choice, I always pick the choice that will let me learn. And so it should come as no surprise that I am very excited to be here and talk to you about Google Cloud Learning and the amazing opportunities and resources to build skills to help thrive in a cloud-first world. So for today, right, I want to focus this talk on three sections. First off, let's unpack and understand what the demand for these cloud computing roles are and where that demand is coming from. What are the market trends in the space and why are cloud skills so important? Next, we look at learning resources provided by Google Cloud. And this includes not just learning a skill, but also opportunities to validate the skill and knowledge. And then lastly, we look at some very tactical steps that you can take to get started on your own learning journey. So are you ready to come on this journey with me? All right, let's dive into our first section and talk about the demand for cloud computing roles. Everywhere you look, you hear about cloud skills right now. I feel like cloud technology is now mainstream and enterprises and large organizations are spending more on cloud-based offerings, and that's growing faster than spending on traditional IT offerings. And as cloud adoption grows, there's this need for skills to take advantage of the latest cloud advancements. And we really are at this big inflection point where there's this huge demand for cloud skills and talent in the market. And the numbers on the slide really speak for itself, for themselves when it comes to this. I'll just pause for a second, right? And that first stat there, which is really 3 out of 4 IT decision makers are reporting a skills gap in the market and are unable to find qualified talent to fill those open roles. So on one hand, you have all of these job roles, and there is this dearth of cloud skills and talent to fill those job roles. And then on the other hand, you also have a growth in the number of these open roles, and they continue to increase. Between 2019 and 2020, job postings looking for cloud skills grew by 40%. That's a lot. Most employers list cloud computing as a key area of investment for their organizations. And we are seeing this here at Google Cloud as well. And specifically, there's cloud credentials and certifications continue to remain of high interest and command a lot of interest. Last year, Google Cloud's professional data engineer and Google Cloud's professional cloud architect certifications, for example, were the 2 top highest paid certifications amongst all IT certifications in the US. So there is this shift towards cloud skills, and talent. Huge opportunity and demand. So the question is, what can we do, right? And what can you do? I mentioned that I'm I work in learning, and this is an area of passion for me. And so this next section, I really want to deep dive onto some of the learning resources and offerings that are available. And this includes job role-based learning and credentials that can help validate and demonstrate skills and job role proficiency. Before I do that, though, I want to kind of take a step back and introduce the approach on how to build skills to get the most of cloud technologies. When you think traditionally, training has largely been centered around a piece or pieces of technology. But cloud requires a whole new way of learning. It requires not just learning and operating the technology, but also a change in mindset, this orientation towards solution based thinking and collaboration and integration. So, to do this with Google Cloud's training, we really focus on helping you understand how to use the technology within a job function or a role to truly build cloud solutions that drive cross functional success and impact. The way we approach our training also helps move from an implementer and maintainer to more of a strategist and innovator, right? That shift in mindset as well. And then lastly, or rather I should have said, this is probably the most important thing we do is we really lead with hands-on training. We believe tech training is learned by doing, and hands-on learning with labs is core to how we provide learning. We also emphasize that people learn differently. Some, like my own personal learning style, I like to read. I'm a voracious reader. I read a book a week, and I really prefer reading to watching videos, right? For example, which is unusual, but that's my preferred learning style. And there's others who like watching videos and learning, and then hands-on practice. And there's people who prefer to learn in a classroom, right? So everyone has their own pace, and Google Cloud really tries to emphasize and meet you where you are in your learning journey. So when we think about learning, at the core of our learning practice are three questions that we ask, which is, how do people learn best in a style that's unique to them? How does this help them do their job better? And how does this equip our customers to optimize and succeed with their cloud transformations? All of our content is developed by super awesome curriculum developers, some of the smartest people that I know, cloud experts, PhDs, academic experience, which is a lot of depth of experience in building curriculum. And they work really closely with the product and engineering teams to ensure that the curriculum is always evolving with the technology, which, as you can imagine, is evolving pretty fast. So let's just explore some of the ways that you can learn, right? And see which one resonates with you. Learning by doing is core to what we do, right? If you want to build technical skills and knowledge, you have to get your hands dirty. And so gaining practical application with hands-on labs and lab-based learning is a huge part of our learning catalog. And we have more than 700, I think, labs on various topics like infrastructure modernization, application development, machine learning, AI, data analytics, you name it. Lots of learning and a rich catalog of hands-on practical application experience that you can gain. If you prefer a hybrid learning approach, which has videos and quizzes and labs, we also have access to on-demand courses, which include videos and quizzes, as well as labs. And these generally tend to be multi-module courses that take you through a series of topics to help you build the knowledge in that specific role or area that you've picked. An example would be, as a security engineer, you may start off by learning how to manage security in Google Cloud. You'll then be exposed to security best practices in the context of the course, and then wrapping it up with how to manage and mitigate security vulnerabilities, as an example. So the course would kind of cover a bunch of topics to give you that well-rounded experience across many modules. And most of our courses, right, are also offered in an instructor-led format. So if you prefer learning with someone, And for some topics, a classroom and instructor-led experience may be the best route. There's options to help you support there as well. So all of this to say, when it comes to cloud, how you learn and just that excitement, right? You really want to keep your learning fun. And we have options that can make it easy for you to get started or advance on your cloud learning journey. In addition to just learning, Google Cloud also has opportunities to measure and recognize your cloud skills and competencies with badges and certifications. Digital badges like the Google Cloud Skill Badge, they test and recognize a competency and skill you've built in a hands-on environment. You can earn badges again across various areas and demonstrate and share badges on your ability to perform foundational data and machine learning tasks, or build and secure networks, for example. These badges are fun, right? So the way these badges work or the knowledge works, it's a series of labs with increasing complexity and difficulty. And by the time you get to this last challenge lab at the end of the series, you're really being tested on your knowledge. And gaining that badge is truly an accomplishment and something to celebrate. So you can share the badges with your social networks and let people know that you're building these really critical, important skills. These hands-on learning skill badges are also a part of the prep towards a certification. And certifications tend to be high stakes examinations that can check your proficiency in the skills required for a specific job role. So if you find you have significant cloud experience, cloud certifications might be where you start and demonstrate your proficiency in that specific area. So we have the learning, we have these credentials and badges, and really the focus is to keep the learning fun, engaging, and exciting. So that was a lot about Google Cloud and the type of learning resources. And I really hope that I'm leaving you with the sense of learning is supposed to be fun, right? It's supposed to be engaging. And as you go through these learning experiences, that's what we want to have for you, right? And so where do you go from now and how can you get started? If you're excited and you're ready to jump in, I have a couple of tactical next steps and resources to leave you with. First of which is Google Cloud Skills Boost. We recently launched Skills Boost as a platform to help prepare for careers with Google Cloud. And this includes the full catalog of labs, courses, all of those resources that I spoke to you about just earlier, all authored by Google Cloud in one destination. You can access learning paths, which I'll talk about in a second here. You can view your learning activity history. You can find your badges in your badge profile, share it with your networks, all sorts of really cool things that you can do on this platform. Visit cloudskillsboost.google to explore and experience it for yourselves. I spoke about learning paths here, and so I want to really dive into this specific section of what you will find. So on Cloud Skills Boost, you'll find more than 20 different learning paths designed to focus your learning and help prepare for specific job roles. These paths tend to be a mix of labs and courses. The courses, like I mentioned earlier, will help you prepare the knowledge and context, and the labs can provide practical application and experience to help build proficiency. 20 plus different learning paths, that's a lot, right? And so you can get started pretty much wherever you feel like you want to build your experience and knowledge. But if you're looking for specific recommendations on where you would like to get started, I have 4 recommendations on the slide for you. First of which is getting started with Google Cloud. So as the name suggests, it's an introductory fundamentals path that can get you started on Google Cloud from a technical fundamental standpoint. And it's a great place for you to start before pursuing some of the more job role specific paths. The path has fundamentals on the infrastructure, application development, as well as data and machine learning sides, with courses, skill badges, and labs to really deepen your experience and expertise. If you're looking more for the business flavor of why Google Cloud, right? What is cloud all about? I would recommend the Cloud Digital Leader path. So this path really dives into the benefits and business value of cloud technologies. It addresses topics like business transformation, innovation, data analytics, but really talks to the business value of cloud and how cloud can transform businesses. This path also, bonus, helps prepare for the Cloud Digital Leader certification. Highly recommend you check out the Cloud Digital Leader certification at the end of this path and attempt the certification and add that credential to your belt. The Cloud Engineer is another technical path that helps prepare for the Associate Cloud Engineer certification. And so that's an area that you can explore if you have some fundamental knowledge of Google Cloud or cloud, and you really want to get your hands deep into the technical cloud engineer job role. And then we also have paths on the data side, right? Like the data analyst, which includes analyzing and getting insights from data. Data is a part of everyone's job today. If you're in marketing, finance, HR, data is core to any role that you would do. And so this data analyst path can really help you get the knowledge and skill sets that you need to be a successful data professional. So those are all of the paths and some introductory paths to kick you off with. And cloudskillsboost.google is where you can go and access and view all of these paths. All right, so how do you then sign up, right? I have some exciting news. When you visit cloudskillsboost.google, you will have this option to register for a campaign that gives you access to your learning journey for 30 days at no cost. And on cloudskillsboost.google, you'll find a link to register for the campaign, and you can access the entire catalog, including the learning paths that I just spoke to you about, at no cost. So hopefully that helps you take that next step, get started on the learning journey, and build some fun skills. And with that, I wanted to end this talk by saying happy learning. I truly, truly appreciate you tuning in and listening to this talk. Like I said in the beginning, we really deeply care about learning and skilling here at Google Cloud, and we are committed to making learning enjoyable and fun and all of the good things, right? So I hope you enjoy your learning, have fun with it, and all the best with whatever career you end up taking from here on. And if it is a cloud career or a Google Cloud career, all the best, and would love to see how it goes. Thank you so much again. And thanks, TechNow, for having me talk on International Women's Day. Take care. Bye-bye.